Nice music. So, imagine yourself in the middle of an ocean, surrounded by tropical islands, a light summer breeze, and two of your best friends. Pure bliss. Like all good things, it started with a braai. I know, Regardt said, let's paddle around Zanzibar on your SUP. Why not, agreed Flip and I. Now, how to get there, that's what I'm here to tell you about, in just 5 easy steps. Step 1, you don't need to be a Kingsley Holgate. All we had was a hunger to get out there and to do something epic. As you heard, we didn't even know that we could stand on the boards. We couldn't even balance on the boards before we started telling everybody about it. We were so excited about the idea. And this proved to be a great incentive, because telling people about your idea beforehand makes backing out of it a lot harder to do. Step 2 is to think big and have faith. Don't be discouraged with thoughts around costs, logistics, leave that needs to be taken, naysayers, because there'll be lots of those. Because as soon as you start planning your expedition and you get into it and you say, okay, I'm committing, I'm going for it, everything eventually works out. Step 3 is be bold. Fortune really does favor the brave. There's so many things that could have gone wrong on our trip. For instance, the wind was howling for months before at 40 kilometers an hour. And it would have made it impossible to do our trip in 7 days if it kept up to that speed. And luckily it died down a week just before we flew out. Step 4 is be a grootback. Make yourself newsworthy. We worked hard to get our sponsors on board, and even harder to create media exposure for them. So we featured on radio, Facebook, Twitter, magazines, newspapers, websites, Twitter, and the local gossip circles in George, Stellenbosch, and Craddock, where our mothers did their best efforts to make their boys shine. And lastly, find a purpose. We partnered with a local charity in Cape Town to raise funds for disadvantaged kids to buy school shoes for them. This gave our mission purpose, and it also motivated us knowing that our efforts will benefit others. So, now that you have an idea of how to plan your expedition, let me give you a bit of a rundown what every day was like. We had a morning paddling session and an afternoon paddling session. And breakfast was at 4 a.m., oats so easy in cold water. Nice. So we ate, packed our bags, double-checked equipment. Some of us had to double-check more than others. Or realized 10 minutes into the paddle that they forgot something ashore. This was mostly the same person. After that, we would stop, we would pray and just ask Jesus to protect us on the day and just invite him to come and enjoy the whole experience with us, which is pretty awesome, and we would head off. Lunch breaks was on the west coast, it was on shore on the beach, but on the east coast there's a huge reef that runs 2 kilometers along the length of the island. So it was always ashore at the sea on our boards, which was pretty interesting. And then once we reached our destination, first things were to back up videos and movies and recharge equipment, which would take around about an hour. And then we would head off into the local village to go and find food and water. We needed 3 liters each due to the humidity every day. And only after that was done could we relax and just enjoy our surroundings. The highlights of the trip included paddling with dolphins, swimming with lots of beautiful sea fish, and seeing a cool sea turtle. We also had lots of time to think. You're going at 4.7 kilometers an hour. I can walk faster than that. I ended up thinking about milkshakes a lot. There's no milk on Zanzibar, hardly any fridges, and I didn't see any cows. And for someone who loves milkshakes this much, people need to warn you about these things beforehand. Now, mothers always want to know if there's ever any real dangers on these kind of trips. Well, on day 1, we had a run-in with kids with knives. Big, intimidating knives. The odds were 3 paddles versus 15 knives. Pretty soon, though, it was 1 paddle versus 50 knives, as Flippy, never one to back down from confrontation, decided that this was a good opportunity to practice his 180-degree half-moon reverse sweep. Vat so, julle bliksems! Vat so! Ta! Ta! That's our amusement. On day 2, we paddled past the army training exercise. Yes, Zanzibar has an army. And as we were paddling past, I saw a red flag ashore and thought nothing of it until we heard the bullets ting, ting, going overhead. And I was like, paddle, paddle. And we thought we were safe about 200 meters further, and then all of a sudden, like a bomb went off in the bush, and I was like, oh my hat. Zanzibar, tropical holiday destination, hi, go now. Less dramatic incidents include Flip being swept out to sea by a current, Regardt paddling over a 3-meter great white shark, and me almost being swallowed by a whale. But apart from these hiccups, it wasn't so bad. What went wrong? Well, lots. But nothing a boermaker plan attitude, some duct tape, and Pratley putty couldn't fix. So all in all, what did we accomplish? Well, we were the first guys to stand-up paddle 235 kilometers around Zanzibar. It took us 65 hours. We raised enough money to donate 260 pairs of school shoes to Regardt Primary in Belhar, Cape Town, increasing bicep diameter by 13 millimeters, and and stepping out with great friends into the unknown, accomplishing what we set out to do, and actually pulling it off. Priceless.